Hey, this Omar, and yeah, I'm get right to it. Uh, this fucking game that we seen yesterday. I mean, I guess if you want to call it a game, I mean it was just a straight beat down. From start to finish. It was uh, it was just I don't know what how you can put it into words. I saw a shit show, if you ask me. That was on put on video by the Chargers and shit. Much respect to the Jags. They definitely, they got potential to possibly win the AFC South. I see they just gonna keep going. Doug Peterson, he's kind of like, got a new life down there in Jacksonville, and he's allowing us to see a little bit of Trevor Lawrence each week. You can see he's getting more poised in the pocket. He's slowing down. Like unlike how he was in the first game, like past couple of games, he's slowing down each game. I noticed that for him. He had a good ass game. 28 completions, 39 attempts, 262, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, just commanding the game from the jump. They also chimed in with 150 rushing yards. James Washington had 17 attempts, 100 yards with that 50-yard big run that he had. Etienne, he's still getting his footing. I really haven't seen him put his imprint on the game just yet. And, it was, I guess you could say it was okay by him yesterday. He had 13 attempts, 45 yards. He also chimed in with 3 receptions and 30 yards. So, they was running the ball at will, and they was throwing the ball at will. The all the receivers did their thing. They all found the end zone. You know what I'm saying? Zay Jones, 10 receptions, 85 yards, a touchdown. Sorry about that. Christian Kirk, he had 6 receptions, 72 yards, a touchdown. And Marvin Jones had 4 receptions, 33 for a touchdown. And so, all the people that they need to kind of execute in the passing game, as far as receivers, they did the job that was asked of them. Defense chimed in with 1 interception and a fumble recovery. You know what I'm saying? They only had 1 sack, which is surprising because of the score. You would have thought they was doing more. They only got 2 turnovers and 1 sack. So, I'm thinking the box score was gonna look a lot more like, as far as defensive wise, they had way more sacks, but they only got to Justin Herbert one time. All right. So like defensively, they did their thing. I guess they was forcing a lot of 3-and-outs and shit like that. And yeah, they did their thing. I mean, they're gonna be solid, and they, especially in their division, they pretty much got the best quarterback in their division. And if they defense keeps playing better and playing fast, and all they got to do kind of is get more turnovers, then they gonna be a problem each and every week. Cause to be honest, they should have won the first game, so they really should be 3-0. Where they lost to the Commanders, but yeah, they've been each week. Last week was a shutout win on the Colts. People said they going to be a playoff team. They went and shut their ass straight down in Jacksonville last week, and this week they went to Cali and beat the shit out of the fucking Chargers, a team that everybody, well, a few people saying that they got a shot at making a solid push this year. All right, which brings me to them, the fucking Chargers, which is it's crazy. If you want to say Justin Herbert is fucking hurt, he was a game time decision. It's possible that he might not even play. Then why in the fuck do you got him throwing the ball 45 times? Like, you got him throwing the ball 45 times. He had 297 and 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and a fumble loss. So you overexposing them ribs because you don't want to commit to running the ball. I mean, you only ran the ball yesterday for 12 attempts, 26 yards total for the team. Austin Eckler has been a no-show in the running game so far this season versus all the defenses that we face you know, the running the ball, he ain't doing shit. He gonna catch up a lot of cleanup passes and shit as far as like catching the ball. You know, he had 8 receptions for 48 yards, but running the ball where we need them to at least respect the running game at least. You know, and he ain't been doing shit. So they just got their ears pinned back for the pass. Like I don't understand the play calling. You know what I'm saying? Like and I don't see the difference in the play calling from the coach we got now, Staley, to the old coach, Anthony Lynn. I don't see the difference in the offensive play calling. The only difference is this guy might go for it a little more on fourth down than Anthony Lynn would did. But to be honest, I don't see no fucking difference. Joe Lombardi or whoever the fuck the OC is, he's overrated and shit because he has Justin Herbert. So Justin Herbert is pretty much going to do his thing. So I don't see shit that he doing. You know, I mean, fuck passing the ball. I mean, well, Palmer had 6 for 99 yards. You know, that was cool. Guyton had 2 receptions with 64 yards. You know, and then the people harder 331. That ain't shit. Gerald Everett, you know, he's somebody that got mismatches every week. They only fed him 2 receptions, 25 yards. He ain't do shit. And Mike Williams, you thinking like, all right, yeah, you know, that he scored that touchdown in the second quarter. And so you thinking like, all right, yeah, that, you know, that he's gonna have a pretty good game, you know, as long as they try to, you know, get him involved. He was targeted 6 times, only had one fucking catch and shit. So, I mean, this is every single season. It seemed like it. I gotta look back on who did something like that to us last year, but at 38-10, man, it's like you got all this fucking talent. You ain't gonna tell me the Jaguars, talent wise, is better than the Chargers talent. You ain't gonna tell me. And then if you're gonna tell me they get the win, fine, we could go with that. But you ain't gonna tell me they 28 points better than the fucking Chargers. Like, ain't no fucking way, man. It's fucking coaching, man. And it's like it's already rearing its ugly head. So what they need to do is the Chargers need to have that dude on the clock. And they got the dude, Sean Payton, that's out there. If this dude look like he don't know what the fuck he doing, because he's talking about he got this job off of the defense of the Rams, right? And the fucking defense ain't shit. You got some all pros and shit. Okay, yeah, Bosa got hurt, whatever, you know what I'm saying? He got hurt, and you know, but everybody else was out there. I mean, I think Jackson ain't played, if I ain't mistaken. But I mean, he didn't play in the first game, and we held Oakland to 19 points and shit like that, or some shit like that. The defense is not fucking dead. Situationally, I do not see it on a game to game. And now I'm gonna go back. With this the situationally last week versus the Chiefs, and then he almost choked up the game versus the fucking Raiders. This week, I didn't see no situational defense where they can make plays and get the opposition off the field. Like, I just don't see it. Last year, the last game versus Oakland, situationally, I didn't see the shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's week to week. I'm not seeing all these claims of he's a smart coach and all this. It don't matter. You could be a smart dumbass. You ever heard of that? You could be a smart dumbass. And that's what this dude is. You know, I get it. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, he survived cancer and all. Yeah, that's cool story and shit. But as far as coaching, he ain't ready to be no head coach, man. He probably a better defensive coordinator, but he's not ready to be no fucking head coach. And it's showing because he got one of the most talented rosters in the whole fucking league, and he getting his ass slaughtered every fucking week. And it ain't making no sense. You got your fucking hurt ass quarterback throwing the ball 45 times and he's hurt and shit. So now, he keep gotta doing that twerk shit that them quarterbacks gotta do with their hips and shit. You twerking and twerking, overexposing yourself week to week and shit. And so He should have had a different. He shouldn't even threw. If anything, he should have threw maybe 20 times and shit. They should have committed more to the running game. The running game should have had 30 fucking attempts. It's just some bullshit looking at that shit week to week. You let them sorry ass Chiefs get your ass last week. All right, yeah, Gerald Everett didn't run hard on the play. They threw the interception. Bang, the game flipped like that. That interception that we did get that they said wasn't an NFL. Cool, cool. All right, yeah, it was a couple of plays that should have went our way, didn't go our way. All right, bet. But this week, you had extra 2 or 3 days of y'all, the coaching staff, to put 38-10 on fucking paper. They put that shit on the wood, man. 38 to fucking 10, man. And we got fucking the Texans this week. And Texas ain't no easy out. They talent wise, I look at them and they really ain't supposed to be in most of the games. They should have won. They should have won this week versus Chicago. The guy made an interception, but quite possibly that game would have went into overtime, and they probably, depending on who got the ball, they probably could have got out of there with a dub. The first week versus the Colts, they had a billion chances to win that game. So last week versus the Broncos, they played the Broncos tough as shit, so they playing hard for Lovey Smith. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I see a coach can do. He might not have the most talented mob, but he can coach his guys, and all the guys play hard for him. And even if they lose, it's a loss where you say, damn, all right, from this point for the rest of the year, we know that, yeah, Houston is a tough out. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of who they have on the roster, they just going to make sure they play the whole 60 minutes. I don't see that with us. I see us as a soft ass team. Period. Even the fact that Keenan Allen ain't out there, we ain't shit. And they talking about what possible Super Bowl. Nah, they better flip that. The Jags look more Super Bowl ready than we do. We look like some shit, and we ain't even got to the tough part of the schedule. These was the easier games and shit, and we already look like one of the worst teams in the fucking league. Fucking Cowboys don't even have Prescott, and they fucking out there playing some solid ass defense and shit. Like, I don't see it. And if I gotta go through this for the whole fucking year, I just hope that the coach gets fired. That's gonna be the only saving grace. If this is gonna be the bullshit that the guy gotta go through this shit week to week, then hopefully, at the end of the year, they just give him his walking papers and get Sean Payton in there. All right, that's a little bit off my chest. But yeah, thank you for listening. All right.